And we're going to be live this morning at a place called New Mexico Tech. It is a government training camp, and it is a camp for defense against terrorists. And we'll explain who they're training and what kind of training it is, show you what they're doing as well. It is a place where police and firefighters are learning hands-on how to respond to a major terrorist attack. ABC's Mike Von Friend is joining us from Socorro, New Mexico, a place that specializes in training for bombs and explosives. Mike, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Charlie. I'm out in the New Mexico desert about to hunker down in this thick concrete bunker with bulletproof glass. With me are 30 rescue workers, police officers, and firefighters from across the country, and in less than a minute, we're going to experience a powerful car bomb. Now, the explosives are packed in a red car that's half a mile away. All this is part of an intensive week-long training for first responders under the direction of Professor Van Romero. Professor, tell us about the bomb that we're about to see.
We have 150 pounds of ammonium nitrate about a half mile away in a vehicle. Same type of explosive that was used in Oklahoma City. We're going to see a very bright flash, hear a loud noise, and then we'll feel the concussion on our chest.
Okay, Rudy Carrillo, count us down to the explosion.
Okay, get ready to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Now, Professor, I could feel the concussion all the way back here. This is a half a mile away. Tell me about the concussion that we felt.
That's a shock wave that gets produced from the explosive as it pushes the air out of the way. It pushes the air and it just travels out the desert.
Now, I understand that this remains of a car is one that you blew up just a while ago. Why are we doing this? What are you teaching? What do we learn from this?
This is the results of one of the recent courses we had. One of the things we want to teach the firefighters is there's a lot of evidence here left behind after the explosion. The VIN number on the engine, there's VIN numbers on the chassis, there's also chemical evidence left behind.
Now, I understand that after the first World Trade Center bombing, they were able to find in that enormous explosion the VIN number from that vehicle?
Investigators went in, found the VIN number, tracked it down, and that's how they prosecuted the crime.
So what you're teaching here is preserving the crime scene if you can. In other words, you've got to save people if you can. I assume people have no hearing after an explosion like this, right? They're all deaf?
We want to teach the first responders what's important. They'll make the decision on the scene. They have to understand that the victims may not be able to hear with them. They'll have to communicate through them through different means, and they'll have to preserve that evidence.
Well, I want to talk to one of the guys that's learning from this. Hugo Patino, you've been a firefighter in Modesto, California for 15 years. What are you learning here? In other words, when you get to a crime scene, you got to protect some of the evidence?
Well, I think in the past, fire departments have come into the scene with lights flashing and sirens blazing, pull right up, pull our hoses off, and use copious amounts of water to put the fire out. Today we're learning the importance of scene preservation, as well as taking extra precaution to take care of ourselves.
So you're the target sometimes.
Sometimes we are.
Well, Professor, let me talk to you about that. I experienced, there was a bombing in Georgia. When I was one of the first reporters to get there, it became a famous shot because a woman I was talking to about it, suddenly her hair blew up because there was another bomb beside us. And I learned after that that's an old trick, a Middle East trick, a second bomb. Tell me about that.
Bait and wait's a common trick by terrorists. What they do is they set off the first device that attracts firemen, policemen, news reporters, just the public in general. Now they're targets, additional targets to be killed.
So what are you teaching here? In other words, they've got to wait a while before they go in and save people?
Of course, we want them to look before they leave, but they have to know what to look for, how to identify secondary devices so that they can protect themselves and protect others.
Okay, well, I thank you very much for showing it, and I want to tell you, Charlie, that there have been 4,000 people that have gone through this program. It has tripled in size since September 11th. There's now a year-long waiting list, and all these people here are going to be sent home, Charlie, and they're going to be training others.
All right, interesting. As Robin Roberts said, Mike Von Friend, it is a new world in which we live. Local police officers, local firemen from around the country learning how to deal with terrorist attacks. And this was a school started after Oklahoma City because of the enormity of the bomb there, and obviously brought even to sharper focus after 9/11.